Well, hello there, and welcome to yet another episode of Ask Dr. Bitcoin. I'm your host, Mark Risen-Hopkins. We're going to talk a little bit today about the concept of stablecoins. It may sound a little simplistic, but there is some nuance to discover and learn about in this world, so stay tuned. We're going to talk about the two, maybe three kinds of stablecoins that exist. Stay tuned. So there are at least two different types of stablecoins that exist. We're going to talk about both of those, and we're going to talk about a footnote to history, the third type of stablecoin there towards the end. But to understand what a stablecoin is, you have to first understand what blockchain is. We've talked a lot about what blockchain means and what the principles of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and cypherpunk means on this show. In general, blockchain is a tool for decentralizing or mitigating the requirement for trust between counterparties. And what a stablecoin is a dollar-locked or asset-locked token that exists on a blockchain. That can mean, in most cases, that it is a dollar-locked asset, or it can mean something else like gold value locked or silver value locked. And there was even attempts by Facebook associated organizations to create a basket of currencies called Libra that were going to be value locked to the underlying assets. But in general, whenever you hear somebody say a stablecoin, they're usually talking about a dollar coin or a euro coin. The leading stablecoin in the market is something called Tether. The story of Tether goes all the way back to the origins of Bitcoin itself. Back in 2011, there was a network called OmniLayer, which was involved with the first ICO involved within the Bitcoin ecosystem. It was called Mastercoin. But putting all that aside, essentially what Tether is a large organization with a ton of underlying assets that will tell you, as if you buy a tether on a market, on a centralized exchange, on a decentralized exchange, whether it be on the Tron network, Ethereum network, or Bitcoin network, any place that you buy a tether coin, we will redeem that coin to your bank account with a equivalent value. So if you buy $50 worth of tether and you go to the tether website and you say, give me the value of my tether, they will wire you or put on your credit card $50 worth of tether. That is in essence, and it's very simple when I explain it like that, is very essence as to why tether has any value at all that is approximate to $1. This is the first category of stablecoin. There's a bunch of them that fall into this category. There's the True USD. There is USDC, which is backed by a company called Circle and Coinbase and a couple of other associated organizations. Of course, there's Tether, which we mentioned. Paxos, which is the stablecoin provider that powers the PayPal stablecoin that's about to come out. This is the first major category. What is the benefits and what is the downsides to this category of stablecoin? Well, the benefit obviously is if it's a large organization that's been around for a while and undergoes rigorous public audits, you can trust that you will have the value of that stablecoin always available to you, and you can reasonably assume that it's always going to be within a couple fractions of a penny worth of the underlying asset. However, because it involves a centralized organization, you may, if you're a watcher of this show and adherent to what we talk about, reasonably question why we should trust an organization when we're using trustless technology, which is blockchain. You'd be right to question it. That is a crutch on our way to full decentralization. That leads us to our second category of stablecoin. Right now, there's not very many in this second category of stablecoin because it's a burgeoning technology type, but the principal issuance authority behind our second category is an organization called MakerDAO, and the category is called, at a technical level, collateralized debt notes. And so how does this work? Well, essentially, MakerDAO and some derivative organizations have created this class of smart contract where you can deposit assets into it and it will issue you a stable coin. The precondition generally is that you have to deposit at minimum 150% the value of what it is you're trying to get out. So if you're trying to mint $1 of this token, you have to issue into the smart contract at least $1.50's worth of assets. And the rule being, broadly, and this is generalizing, the rule being that if the value of the underlying assets for that token falls below that 150% funding threshold, the token holder has the right to liquidate for the underlying assets. There's a lot of questions as to why people would do this, why you would issue those, but you can obviously see the usefulness to this because there's been lots of controversy in the past and in lawsuits and civil and criminal actions against Tether about the efficacy and thoroughness of their auditing procedures. But with something like MakerDAO and these collateralized debt notes, the audit is ongoing 24/7 and visible to anybody that knows how to use a block explorer and look at smart contracts and analyze them. So there is never any question with a MakerDAO's DAI, DAI is the name of the token ticker for this type of stablecoin. There's never any question as to whether or not DAI is solvent. You can always tell what the underlying assets are and how solvent the smart contract is that's issuing the DAI. There is a third category of stablecoin that I feel like has been debunked, although maybe some intelligent people would disagree with me, and that is a category that's sometimes called seigniorage model, or it's sometimes called algorithmic stablecoins. It's very difficult to explain, I think perhaps by design, because the most prominent example of a stablecoin in this category is the Terra Luna. And if anybody that's been following the world of cryptocurrency scams and cryptocurrency legal proceedings, you've probably heard about what's gone on there, where you had a multi-billion-dollar market cap for this stablecoin and the underlying companion asset Terra Luna token that collapsed, mostly because of the leverage that was involved in creating it. It created a vulnerability in the stablecoin itself that allowed either raider investor types like SBF allegedly, or just the shifting market conditions, if you're look at it that way, that caused the leveraged increase in market cap for the Terra Luna USD to collapse underneath itself. No matter how you look at it, no matter whether you ascribe a raider investor that came in and tried to intentionally collapse it, or if it was market conditions, it's without a doubt obvious that every single attempt at the seigniorage model has been left vulnerable to shifting market conditions that allow it to collapse precipitously. It stays solvent until it doesn't, and then it goes away, which is not exactly what you want in a stablecoin. You want your stablecoins to stay stable. So looking at this spectrum of stablecoins, you've got full centralization to full decentralization, with collateralized debt notes existing somewhere in the middle. I think striking a good balance between decentralization and censorship resistance without relying on too much on a centralized, trusted third party to audit and maintain that code. What do you want to know about stablecoins? Let us know in the comments down below. And if you found this enlightening, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Until next time. Hey, thanks for watching The Merge. We've got a ton more stuff for you to watch on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, everywhere. Check us out.